So have you been looking at other uses of Marriott Vacation Club points? Maybe a cruise, maybe a tour, maybe converting them to resort credit? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over some of the best ways to use your points, and then also some of the ones that aren't. We'll talk about it right after this. Hello and welcome to Destination Timeshare. I'm Jeremy. Today we're going to be talking about Marriott Vacation Club and kind of what they sometimes refer to as their Explorer collection. If you don't know what these are, on the website, these are kind of called cruises, tours, and more. You can use your Marriott Vacation Club points for cruises, for Colette tours, for different kinds of excursions and adventures, hotels, resort credit, tickets, golf instructions, all kinds of different things. So we're going to talk about essentially the two best ways to use your points for those types of things and two of the worst ways to use your points for those types of things. We're not going to talk about here essentially using your points for stays at Marriott or even Westin and Sheraton Vacation Club properties, because in most cases, using your points for stays at Vacation Club timeshare resorts is by far the best way to use your points. But you might be wondering, hey, I can't go to a timeshare property this year, or I want to try something different. Well, what are the best ways to do it? And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm also going to give you some information on how you can find the entire list. I've done a complete analysis of all of the different options to see what the value you can get out of your points are for all of these different cruises, tours, and other options that are available to you. So essentially what I did here was I looked at each of the different options and compared them to essentially kind of the retail value of that product or service or tour or cruise. We're going to start off here with kind of the best way you can use your points in this regard, and that just happens to be the exclusive owner events. And these are essentially kind of those events where maybe you want to go see your favorite musician in Las Vegas or elsewhere, and you get tickets to the concert, and you get a private dinner, and it also includes a stay at a Marriott Vacation Club property. Well, what I've found here is based on the pricing that Marriott Vacation Club actually includes on their website as the retail cost of this event, you can get pretty much $1 per point out of your Vacation Club points. So you might be paying 50 cents or so per point in maintenance fees if you elect your week for points, or if you own Marriott Vacation Club Trust points, well, they're around 80 cents a point right now. You can get essentially about $1 per point. Some of these are actually a much better value and some are a little bit less. And also something to point out here is when you do one of these events, well, you do have to attend a timeshare owner update. They're going to try and get you to buy more points from them when you take advantage of one of these events. And that's essentially why that kind of value is so much better, because kind of another way to entice people to buy, because they say, hey, you can go to more of these events. Now, I think there is a limit of only one every 6 months. So yeah, owner events, a great way to use your points for kind of one of these Explorer collection offerings. Now let's talk about the next one, and that just happens to be the tours essentially offered through Colette. This might be a tour of Asia, European tour, African safari. I found these can be priced anywhere from 40 cents to 51 cents per club point. So not nearly as good of a value as those owner events, but kind of the next one on the list here. Now let's jump down and we'll take a look at the two worst ways you can use your Vacation Club points for these types of things. These last two are essentially, if you have no other way to use the points, well, you might want to consider using them for this. The first one just happens to be travel insurance. Costs 800 points for essentially what you can buy from Marriott Vacation Club directly for $199. So that works out to just a little bit less than 25 cents per point. You're far better off here. Instead of using your points for travel insurance, just go ahead and purchase the travel insurance through Marriott Vacation Club and then use those 800 points for something else. And then the last one here, it's essentially kind of the same value, and that is for air miles. You can actually convert 500 club points to 8,000 air miles, and basing it on the value of the different websites out there that kind of track these things, like the Points Guy, well, these can be anywhere from like 14 cents per point up to 25 cents per point. I noticed Hawaiian tend to be the lowest. So yeah, not really another good use of your club points, but if it's use them or lose them, well, this might be one of your only options. Now let's actually talk about why these valuations are so poor. And this is actually something that kind of spans all of the different timeshare companies. I don't really know of any of them that offer you a good value using your points or even your timeshare week for a cruise or for a tour or for anything like that. And the main reason is because what they have to do is essentially they take your points, They then, essentially, you've booked a cruise maybe, they have to go out and pay real cash, real money to book that cruise. Then what they do is they use your points to book inventory or make inventory available that Marriott can rent out on like Marriott.com. And essentially when they rent that out, well, they've recouped the cash and they keep any margin in between what it cost them for that cruise, tour, or other package and what they rented it out for. They're taking a risk there that maybe they won't rent it out at all, but don't get me wrong, they actually do pretty well. This is actually a pretty big profit margin for them in their annual and quarterly earnings. So yeah, they're the two best and worst ways to use your Marriott Vacation Club points for something other than Marriott Vacation Club timeshare resort stays. And as I mentioned earlier in this video, if you actually see the entire list, the entire analysis, I have that included in one of the lessons for my MVC Made Easy online learning course. And this is actually a free preview lesson, so if you head over there, you don't even have to be enrolled in the course to see it. Just go and scroll down through the different lessons that kind of outlines what MVC Made Easy is all about. You'll see it there, it says free preview. And go and check that out. It gives my total analysis of what I've determined the point values to be worth when you kind of use them for those different options. So if you want to go and take some golf lessons, if you want to book a vacation home, if you want to stay in a luxury hotel or residence, well, it gives you an idea of what they're worth and is it really a good option for you to use your points for that. So if you found this video helpful, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It does help these videos get out to more people who probably own Marriott Vacation Club points, and they're trying to determine if this is a good way for them to use their points instead of staying at a Marriott Vacation Club resort. And if you want to see another video about Marriott Vacation Club, well, it's my analysis of kind of the total cost of ownership over the life of ownership, all the fees, your purchase price, interest, whatever it might be, how much it costs, essentially per night, per year to stay at Marriott Vacation Club properties as an owner. Well, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, until next time, the best destination is always a timeshare.